Hello and welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. I'm your host, Ryan MEZA, and I'm joined here with Courtney Haney from Bardic Brewing and Cider. Thank you so much for joining me today, Courtney.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes, of course. I'm super excited to talk to you guys. I'll be joining with Mark, your husband, later on in the show and talk about the whole brewing process with beer. But I just want to talk to you about Bardic Brewing and Cider in general. You guys started a year ago here in Spokane Valley, and I just want to ask you, what was your guys' whole motive / inspiration to starting this company?
Well, it's something that we've sort of always had like in the back of our minds, a dream to open like a restaurant or something. And Mark started home brewing like 13, 14 years ago. And a few years ago, his steady, very good day job got to the point where it wasn't like the job itself was great, but it wasn't the job Mark needed anymore,
exactly.
you know? And so we started kind of looking into other options, and he had kind of ramped up his home brewing to a point that it's like, this could become a career. And so I had started cider making, and it's like, well, it seems like the time is right. And we started the process, and that was about 3 years ago. And we spent about a year planning, and then about a year in like the production and sorting all that stuff out. And then we've had a year of actually being open at the tap room.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love how you two kind of just like found those passions and put them together.
Yeah.
And you guys are very family friendly based.
Yes.
You guys have beer and you have cider, but you also have things for kids to do. You have arts and crafts and little food items that are very family oriented. What was your focus, which is very different for like other brewing companies, I feel like. What was your focus and idea behind that?
Well, it helps that our kids are still young, and so they tag along with us a lot of places. So for us, if we can't bring our kids, a lot of times we don't end up going.
Got it. Okay.
And so we wanted to make another option for families, which, I mean, most breweries are open to having kids in, but we wanted to give a little bit of an extra focus on the kids. So like you said, we've got food and games. We also always have non-alcoholic soda and tea on tap. So
wow, awesome. Something for everyone.
Yes.
I love that. It's very inclusive. And I know you guys so you're very focused on the cider part of it. What's your whole, I know you love the whole focus of experimenting with other ingredients and making the cider. What's like the most thing that you're proud of with your cider making?
I think the balance that I find, so a lot of ciders can tend towards either too sweet or too dry, I guess.
Yeah.
I have a major sweet tooth,
Me
so
too.
like for me it's like it's not too sweet, it's just
perfect.
Right. But finding a balance between those. I have ciders that are on the sweeter side and ciders that are on the drier side. But I really try to find the balance between going too far in either direction and making sure that the ingredients really are able to shine. So, I mean, apple is a big part of that, of course. But like I have a lavender Earl Grey cider right now, and that was a really
about that earlier.
That was a really tricky balance because lavender can so easily go into soap.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants to drink soap.
I know, exactly.
So,
and that one's called the Saber Windu.
Yes.
That one. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
We were talking about it. It sounded so good, and just like the combination. Exactly. What goes into cider making? Like, where do you get all your ingredients to make it, and where do you guys make all your drinks?
So, all of our production is actually done on our property, which is really nice with the kids being home. And so we get our apples here in Washington. We actually get them from Wenatchee.
Nice.
And then all the rest, aside from spices, which we get wholesale I can't remember what the company's called off the top of my head.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Star West. That's
there we
it.
go. Star West.
But so like the strawberries, I make a strawberry hibiscus cider. The strawberries just come from URM. We try to get as much local as we can. But then the basic process of making the cider is getting the apples, chipping them, and then pressing them. And we have a rack and cloth system, which means that the apple chips go into a cloth that gets folded, and then a rack gets put on top of it, and then more cloth with apples and rack, and then we have a hydraulic press that gets the juice out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then fermentation. I can add in flavors before fermentation or after, depending on what I want to do. So like with the strawberries, I add those after because I really want a fresh strawberry taste. And fermenting strawberries changes that.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, that's awesome. I had no clue about any of that. I hear a lot about brewing just because it's so popular here in the Pacific Northwest. But definitely the cider side. That's very interesting.
Yeah,
I love how you guys do it there, too, on your own property.
It's really nice. It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, most definitely. Awesome. Well, right before I bring Mark onto the show, I had a quick question for you that I wanted you to touch on. What is the Bardic Tales, your YouTube channel, and what do you guys find the purpose of that YouTube channel?
Well, we actually started Bardic Tales at the beginning of quarantine.
Okay.
So a lot of the breweries around town started doing some kind of like Facebook Live or YouTube Live kind of thing, kind of like digital happy hours kind of things. And so it's like, hey, this is a way that we can continue to interact with our people while we can't necessarily see them. So we started that, and it evolved into just kind of a weekly like rundown of what we've done, what we're doing. When we were able to have events, we would talk about past events or events that are coming up. And we just recently switched it from Facebook over to YouTube. Nice. So that's kind of inspired us to start thinking a little bit more. So we're going to continue the Bardic Tales, but we're also going to be doing some kind of like home brewing and cider making little tips for people who are interested. And we've got a pretty large board game, a pretty large group of people who are interested in board games. So we're going to do some board game videos and stuff.
Wow, that's awesome. Very interactive. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that you guys do that. I feel like it really allows people to get to know you and Mark at the same time. So
yeah,
I love that. That's a great idea.
Thank you.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today,
Thank
Courtney.
you.
I really appreciate you. I will be right back, and I will be joined with Mark, and we'll talk about some of the brewing going on at Bardic Brewing and Cider. Stay with us.
What a great time of year. It's the season of savings at Wendell Ford with our year-end sales event. The 2021s like this flashy new Explorer are here, and there's more on the way. The 2020s need to go. Hear about this month's great offers from our amazing team.
Hi, I'm Patrick. Come see me this month for huge factory incentives, including 0% for 60 months on Escape, Expedition, Explorer, and more. Also, clearance savings on hundreds of new and used vehicles. Hope to see you soon.
Happy holidays. Come see us at Wendell at the Y or Wendell.com.
We believe every person is created in the image of God with immeasurable beauty and worth, that people should not be defined by their present condition or past mistakes. We are all broken. We need each other. Healing for our brokenness begins with connection, with understanding how much we are loved by a good God. And with healing comes change, the potential for joy and meaning. No one was created for mere survival on the streets, for an existence blurred by mind-numbing substances. Each person is created with a purpose, a unique gift no one else can offer the world. Our job is to help them rediscover it. Real people, real change. Union Gospel Mission.
Hello and welcome back to The Pulse. I am now joined with Mark Haney. He is the brewer over at Bardic Brewing and Cider. Thank you so much for joining me today, Mark.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. So tough act to follow with your wife there, Courtney.
For real, she's amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome. Really happy I got to speak with her. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about the brewing side of it with the beer you guys sell.
Yeah, of course.
You've been brewing beer for 13 plus years now.
Yeah, like ever.
Yeah, and it started way back when with a couple friends, a bucket from Courtney's grandpa, and some water.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you tell me how that kind of sparked your interest in beer?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I started out liking, my idea of a fancy beer was anything with lime in it.
Okay,
And
nice.
so then I had a guy who was a good friend who was much more of a beer connoisseur. He understood what was what and said, if we're going to enjoy beer, we're going to make it ourselves. So I got the equipment I knew how to get at the time, and we started with the ingredients we knew how to get at the time. And frankly, it was awful, but I saw the potential for it. And so I've always been of an engineering mindset, always of the mind, how can I make this better? How can I improve on the process? And this lended itself to that really well. And so upgrading the equipment, upgrading new ingredients, learning new stuff. I mean, education has always been fantastic. So
Yeah, definitely.
it's just always, how can I do this more? How can I make it the stuff I like? And so find a beer I like in the store. How can I come close to that?
Yeah, most definitely.
So it was
That's
always
awesome.
reaching for what I enjoyed already.
Yeah, how do you get to that next step? That's
Exactly.
perfect. I love that. And so how do you what's the kind of attitude or kind of mentality you want your beer to have? What kind of taste do you want your beer to have?
Oh, so for my beer specifically, I want it to be bold and rich, and I don't want there to be any watered down, and frankly, I don't want to lean on any ingredient as a crutch. So
Got it.
this area loves its hops, and that's wonderful. That's a good thing. But you can go too far with that. And so I want things to be more balanced and more just an all-around flavor. And so I shoot more for those myself.
And what kind of ingredients do you typically find yourself using when you're brewing your beer?
Oh, so it's largely going to be focused on the barley. So a little bit of wheat in there occasionally, but it is almost exclusively all barley.
Nice.
A few hops, all of which are local. For that matter, all the grain is local too. We get that from farmers within, just 100 miles of here.
Wow, that's awesome.
But all the emphasis is on that. And so various, sweetnesses and roastiness, like you would roast coffee.
Yeah.
Just different ways of preparing it.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. I know, there's such a science behind brewing beer.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I haven't even scratched the surface.
Really? I know, I'm sure. Like, even with coffee, you mentioned, like, there's such a science with that, too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I love how you're kind of experimenting with these flavors, and it sounds like you guys are supporting local as well and kind of finding that balance with everything.
Oh, yeah, there's so much good local stuff around here. We can't not take advantage of it.
Yeah, most definitely. And I know you guys have such a great community behind you guys. You guys have only been open for about a year now, and you've grown in such a great community. And I know you guys started this thing called the Mug Club over at Bardic. Can you tell me about that and how people can get involved with it?
Oh, absolutely. So the Mug Club, everybody gets their own honest-to-goodness mugs, handmade ceramic mugs.
Nice.
And the whole program lasts for a year, January to December. And you get to pick out, instead of a number, nobody wants to walk in and say, hey, I'm number 15. They want a fantasy character name. And so people walk in and say, hey, I'm the Terminator, I'm Batman, I'm Superman. And that's the mug they get for the year. At the end of the year, they get to take that mug home. And they just get discounts, increased pours, all kinds of benefits throughout the year. And then they also get the chance to renew.
Wow.
And so I know, it's been amazing. We have a little over 100 slots. And the first year, it took us like 7 months to fill up most of those. Come renewal time, it took us about 2 weeks, and we filled up almost all of them. So it has become an extraordinarily popular thing.
Yeah, definitely. That's such a great idea. That's so cool. I love
People
that.
love it. We do too.
Do you have any open slots left? Or?
Yes, we do still have
cool.
a few open slots.
I might
Some of the color choices are taken already.
Okay, got it. Well, I may stop by then. That sounds so cool. I love that. And I know, like, you guys opened a year ago and COVID hit about like 4 months after. Yeah. How was that whole transition and process starting a new business for you in this time been for you guys?
Well, it wasn't the first year anybody wanted, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But what we have found out is that this particular community has been amazing. And so even in the midst of really weird times, it's been a great group of people. They've supported us. They've supported other local businesses. And we've been able to turn this into an honest-God career that is just working fantastically. Yeah. So maybe not where it would have been, but we're not displeased with where it is. Yeah. And we're really looking forward to where it's going to go.
Yeah, most definitely. You guys have started a great foundation here in Spokane, and I'm super excited to see what you guys do here.
Awesome.
Do you guys have any like to-go like packaging, or do you have growlers that people can do to like maybe just get a quick beer or cider and take it home?
Oh, for sure. We've got 3 different sizes. A pint, they call it a whisper. I have no idea why. It doesn't matter. And then one size up would be a grunt. It's basically 2 pints. And then the growler that everybody knows, half a gallon, 4 pints. So they can take their beer, cider, or soda out that way. We also offer all of our food to go. So pizzas, sand pies, ice cream even.
Nice.
You can get all of it to go.
Wow, that's awesome. And I know it's been you and Courtney for about a year. You just hired a new employee, but how has it been for you two balancing it, just alone?
I mean, it's been weird, but it's been good because it hasn't so much been a job as it's been a passion. And anything you can tackle together with somebody that you enjoy is a fantastic time. So hard work, but fun work.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. I know. I feel like work shouldn't feel like work if you're having fun with it. So
yeah, I get off my day job and I don't go to work. I just go to have fun.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's fantastic.
Just be around beer the whole time too.
You betcha.
How can people get involved with you guys? Maybe social media or a website that people can stay in touch with?
Oh,
Bardic?
definitely. Our two primary ones are going to be Facebook and Instagram. If you follow us on those, you get all the information, all the news, everything you could ever need. YouTube, as Courtney said, is up and coming. We've still got some fun stuff planned there, but it's not really fleshed out yet.
Got it.
But Facebook and Instagram are going to be where they can interact with us the most and get all the news they could ever want from us.
Perfect. Sweet. And you guys have something going on today, right? Do you have a new drafts on tap?
What is going on today? Holler from the background. Oh, yes, we put up our new barrel-aged stuff.
Got it, okay.
And so we have a bourbon barrel-aged stout, Singularity, and then a bourbon barrel-aged wee heavy Scotch ale.
Okay.
And so that's Relics. And we have both of those on tap along with some community cider stuff, and it's, oh boy, is it good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be good today then.
Not to pat myself on the
yeah,
back.
right. Seriously,
but,
like, I made it. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's going to be
no
great.
big deal. Here you go. Enjoy.
Just the best thing you've ever tasted.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mark, for joining me today.
Much.
I really appreciate you guys. I'm actually really excited for what you guys do in the community here.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. That's all the time we have today here on The Pulse. I'm your host, Ryan MEZA. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.